All right, dude. So tell me, like, a year ago you were fucking homeless, doing a bunch of other shit, couch surfing. To now, like, you're charging $65, pretty fucking successful, and you started over your barbering career in like a new city, basically. What the fuck happened?
Um, so when I was in ninth grade, my house burned down, and I got split up between like my family and all my brothers. My dad was disabled, and yeah, it was just like a shit show. And I moved in with my boy PJ, and I lived at his house all the way through high school. And then they were like, when I went like right after high school, they were like, all right, you can't stay here. You got to go to college. You got to do something. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. Like I'm gonna go to college because uh, that was just somewhere where I'd be able to sleep and fucking progress somehow. You know what I'm saying? Progress my life. So I went to college, and I used to smoke like a fuck ton of weed in college. Like blew all my money in college just smoking. Um, and every single like summer and winter break, I was pretty much homeless. I was just couch surfing. During the summer breaks, I would do construction. Um, just sleep in my boy's crib, work at like 5:30 in the morning to fucking 6:30 at night.
Sure.
Knock at their house and get up in the morning and do it again just so I had some money to go back to college with, and I would just blow it all on bud in like 2 weeks.
Were you not cutting hair at this time?
I was not cutting hair at this time.
Really? So wait, so like at all, like not even like your own hair, basically.
No, no.
Okay.
I had never even thought about being a barber. I actually, it's funny because I used to cut my brother's hair like back in the day, but I never knew how to like use like the switch or like use a clipper at all.
Sure.
My mom used to just shave our heads, so she was
Sure.
like, "Yo, you do it."
Sure. Okay. So like you were. I mean, like, where were you staying at? Just like friends, or basically anybody who would like allow you to stay at their place?
Yeah. My freshman year, I was sleeping on my mom's floor. Like she has a 2 bedroom. And then she was like, "Yeah, you can't keep doing this." And then sophomore year, I slept at my boy Josh's house all summer. Junior year, I slept at my boy Dylan's house all summer, and I actually got Dylan the job working construction with me. So I was like, "Yo, if I get you this job, we're gonna make like 700 a week." I was like, "You got to bring me to work every day, bro."
Yeah.
And he was like, "All right, bet." So I lived at his house that whole summer.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit my junior year of college, so going into senior year, and that's when I started barbering.
Well,
I was in a frat.
You started cutting hair in 2020. Like, first time picking up pair of clippers, 2020. It's 2022 now. You've only been cutting for
March.
fucking 2 years.
March 2020.
No fucking shit. What
Yeah.
the fuck? Okay, that's a new one.
Yeah.
I didn't remember or I didn't fucking know that. Okay, so you said March 2020 when you picked the first pair of clippers.
Yeah. So we had a barber in my frat. He works actually right down the street from me, and he's diabetic, so he couldn't cut our hair anymore. And I was
Sure.
like, "Yo, who's gonna fucking cut our hair?" And he's like, "You should." And my pledge brother at the time, which is just like your brothers that you like join the frat with at the same time, he also knew how to cut hair. So I just gave him like a 2 on top. We called it the Vic Blends. That was like when Vic Blends was blowing up too.
Sure.
Just the 2 on top high skin fade.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he walked me through how to like do the high skin fade. I did it, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna run with this." So I actually used his clippers because he wasn't really into barbering at that time. And yeah, started barbering, and then I went home for. I lived in an apartment during college. Like I lived off campus in a frat house, and then when I went home that May, I just started cutting everybody for like $10, bro, and I would just rent out hotel rooms or like motel rooms just to cut in,
No
and I was
fucking
cutting in there. Or like my mom was super scared of COVID, so I would either like cut in her sidewalk outside in like the 100-degree weather, or I would like
Yeah.
I would like do house calls or just like cut in a hotel and just try to learn and fucking so I had somewhere to sleep at night,
And,
bro.
and this is
So-
when you were beginning. So basically, like, tell me, were you basically like cutting hair just to pay like for the hotel room too, basically?
Yeah, 100%.
No shit.
Yeah.
How many
Yeah.
people would you like be cutting in the hotel room?
Like 5 to 6, and this is also I had a lot of opportunity because no one could get a haircut because all the barbershops were closed.
Yeah.
So I was the only one giving haircuts.
Okay. So you just set up a fucking like hotel room, and then what? Like you already
Just
had.
asked for the broom, asked for the fucking sweeper, and just
But how did you like? Did you have people like friends? Like who were these people that were coming to you? And like was it just random people coming to like some random guy's hotel room to get cut, or what?
Yeah, these were just like my boys and shit.
No
and they
shit.
would come like every couple weeks. So that's who I started my clientele with back when I got here.
Mm-hmm.
Just like 5 to 10 friends and like their brothers and shit. But none of them came to me because I was whack at the time. Obviously, I was
Sure.
fucking butchering every single cut, bro. Didn't know how to cut.
Sure. What,
And,
were you staying at this hotel for like days or like just one night type thing and like?
Oh, like yeah, like I would go like 1-2 nights, and then like stay at my boy's crib, like cut at his crib, like under the patio, and then like go back. And or like if I didn't have anywhere to sleep, I was getting a hotel. And yeah, so that's what I was doing. I was just trying to stack up some bread that way, just be able to sleep somewhere for the summer. And then when I went back to school for my senior year, and I was in a frat, so I had like 30 heads to cut, and like I started getting like decent, and I was only charging like $10-15. And then like other frats started fuck with me, and then so I started building my clientele that way in college, just cutting like other frat kids, and like they didn't really care, bro, or like they did care, but like I wasn't the best.
Sure.
And there was like no one was going to a barbershop in that town anyway, so everyone was started coming to me, and yeah, so I started building my clientele that way, and then I was getting so busy, bro, where I was just like, dude, I'm making more money than these professors right now, like cutting hair. So I was like, I'm gonna fucking drop out and chase this shit. And at that time, I was following like Vic Blends, like South Bay Chris, like all the big guys that my barber boy told me about, and he would just like put me on all the barber pages and shit. And yeah, so senior year, like towards the end of the year, I dropped out, but I stayed up there just to cut because like I had an apartment there, so why would I leave? And then I started working at this barber shop, the next town over, and they just like rapidly increased the rent on me. So I left. So I worked there for the summer. I worked there for like 2 months, and at this time I was homeless. So I was working at the barber shop, but I was sleeping in hotels still. Once I got my apartment here, which I got like June 15th, so it like next week is like the week that I wasn't homeless anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
So 1 year ago today, I was still homeless.
You still like
crazy.
You didn't know your situation, and basically like because like you, I mean, I guess we kind of skipped over like you stopped. You were doing construction. That stopped because of COVID. There was no more jobs, obviously, for construction. Correct?
Yeah, there was no more jobs, and I was always trying to figure out a way to get out of that shit. Because once I got in it, I was like, fuck, like this is good money for what I was doing, and but I just hated that shit, bro.
Yeah, and isn't construction's like also seasonal too, right? Like sometimes like. There'll be a lot of jobs, and there'll be like no jobs all of a sudden too. So
yeah, I was doing masonry. I was doing like sidewalks, like patios, stuff like that.
Got it. Okay, so you were like at this time, like last year, you're what, maybe 12 months into cutting hair? A little bit over 12 months, basically.
Yeah, probably like 14 months. Yeah.
Okay, and then this, you already knew like you wanted to go all in with barbering, correct? At this point.
Yeah. Yes. So I dropped out of school because I wanted to go all in.
Why? Like, what, like, dude, like, it's so fucking, you were like 12 months in, you're like, I'm doing this fucking thing, fuck school, like, and it was your senior year, you had 1 year left.
Yeah, yep.
What was going through your head?
I just loved barbering, bro, and I was making more money than my professors. Like, I would skip class to cut people, like, because, like, bro, I was so booked out, I would cut from, like, 9 o'clock to, like, 9 o'clock at night.
Sure.
In my frat living room, and, like, people would pay me, like, $50 to like skip class and fucking cut their hair. So I'm like, dude, I'm making $50 an hour while the teachers are teaching. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could definitely fucking I could do this. Like, I just like believed in myself, and I took the risk.
Got it. What I mean, like, like that time from like what, June, once you get an apartment, June 15th, let's say, and I believe you joined the program, the Elevated Mentorship program, in like what? We started working together in October, I think, that year.
October, yeah.
November? So what happened at that time?
I was working at this barbershop. They told me $275 for rent at first a week. Yeah. And then I was getting pretty nice, bro. And I started bringing in other clients, and they were just like super shisty, bro. Like, I don't even know what, like,
shisty.
Yeah, dude. They were just like so tight for no reason. Like, they just wanted to like control me. Yeah. And I always had made barber videos. Like, I just wasn't good at them. But I always liked recording because I used to longboard back in the day, and like we used to make videos all the time and shit. Sure. So I always loved recording and like editing and shit like that. And yeah, so they raised the rent. Once I got my apartment, they raised it from $275 to $400, and then they told me like 2 weeks later that I couldn't work on Wednesdays anymore, but I still had to pay $400. And then they told me they wanted $1,000 a week, so I just picked up my shit. And the kid who taught me how to do the high skin fade, the Vic Blends, I convinced him to move back up to Oneonta with me, which is where I went to college. And we split a 2-bedroom apartment, which this is last month was the last month of my lease on. Yeah. I was like, yo, come upstate with me. And he already graduated like 2 years ago. But I was just like, bro, like, you're not doing anything else. Like, let's go fucking barber up there. Like, we'll run shit up there. Yeah. Easy money. And then I joined the program, so I went back in August, and I was going up there, and I lived. So now I have 2 leases open. I just went from being homeless to having 2 leases open.
This is terrible money management, by the way, for anybody listening.
Yeah, it's terrible, terrible. And so I was living here with my girl, and I was like, yo, I have to go back up to Oneonta to like cut hair. But so I was doing Wednesday through Friday, 2.5 hours away up there, and then I would try to build clientele Friday through Tuesday here, or like Saturday through Tuesday here. And that was 2.5 hours away, so I would leave Wednesday morning, like 6:30 in the morning, go there, and then come back Friday night, because I would either have like a late Friday night cut here or like Saturday cuts. And I was cutting actually in the corner of my bedroom too at that time here.
Where does this drive come from, man? Like that dog, like, dude, you're like, I think the average person would not fucking first of all, the average person would not get 2 fucking leases, right? And be like, fuck it, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Also, the average person,
cheaper.
They also wouldn't fucking drop out of college and just be like, fucking barbering, $10 a cut, I'm gonna try this shit out, right? Like, so
well, at that point when I dropped out, I was charging like 25.
Okay, but still, like the mentality, like you only been doing it for 12 months. Like, where did that mentality come from? Was that always there? Like, what kind of goes through your head that, like, I guess to develop that?
So that goes back to when I used to longboard and shit. Like, dude, me and my boys were like the nicest in the area. Like, we used to compete, like, skate downhill, like 50, 60 miles per hour, like, and go like everywhere, bro. Like Massachusetts, New York, like fucking all up and down the East Coast. So I've always like, whenever I like fuck with something, bro, I'll just hyper focus on that shit, and like I won't care what anybody else says. Like, I'll just lock in. Yeah. And so that's what I did with barbering. I just like I fucked with it, and everyone started telling me that I was getting nicer. So I was like, yeah, I could definitely do this. Yeah. So then, the barbershop was charging 26, and I left in August. So then I went back up to Oneonta in late August, and I was charging 30, 35. I upped my price from 26 to 30, 35 with beard, because they didn't charge extra for beard at the barbershop either. Sure. But yeah, I've always been a dog, bro. I've always been I don't know, bro. I'm just built different, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I just always feel like I've never had it easy, bro. So I've always had to go and get it. Like, either way, you know what I'm saying? Like, I always did something to make money, like, regardless. Yeah. You always kind of kicked it into extra gear when you needed to. Basically. Yeah, 100%. Okay. 100%.
Well, and then so basically you moved back to I'm not gonna fucking remember the name. What's the place's name again? Like Oneonta?
Oneonta, yeah. Oneonta. So I was up there. I was up there from August to December, and I joined the program in October because the summer previous, when I was working at the barbershop, right at the end when I was about to quit, I went to Greg's barbershop. Sure. And my boy Gavin, I think you know Gavin too. He works at Greg's barbershop.
Sorry, Gavin, you listen. I don't know who you are.
But he was my barber my freshman year of college when I went to Hartford. I transferred from University of Hartford in Connecticut to Oneonta my sophomore year. Okay. So he was my barber in Hartford. So I went to go visit him because I was out in Philly with my girl, and I was like, I'm gonna go get a cut from him. And he was telling me about Greg, and he showed me Greg's Instagram. He like showed me his whole like studio downstairs and shit. And I thought that shit was sick, bro. And I love the barber videos. Like I started like following him right after that, and then like I started seeing all these other barbers like South Bay Chris, like just like other barbers in the program. And I was just like, yo, if they can do that shit, like why can't I? Yeah, well, like it's crazy because like you started cutting hair after I retired. I stopped cutting hair in 2019, so you didn't even know like me when I was cutting hair at all, right? No, not at all. Exactly. I had no idea who you were. So what the fuck like convinced you of like, cool, like I just see this guy has this program, met this random other guy, Greg Crispy Cats, I'm gonna do this shit too. Like what was kind of going through your head? What was the decision process in there? Dude, because like other people in my city, like they just like they don't take risk. Like all the barbers around were like all had like the same mentality. Like I remember my old barber shop boss owner or whatever. Yeah. He was like, yo, you work here for 5 years and you'll make $500 a day. And I'm like, like fuck that, bro. Like I do not want to do that shit. So I had to take another avenue, and so I heard about you through Gavin, which is Boys with Greg, and then I saw South Bay Chris, and I think I looked up South Bay Chris on YouTube, and I think I saw your thing. So then I watched all your videos. I did my due diligence, and then I was back here one night, and I was with my boy, and I was like, dude, I'm setting up a call with him. Like, I'm gonna fucking do this shit. Yeah. So I had some money saved at the time, and Yeah, I just fucking fully sent it. Like I didn't even know how much it was, like how much the program was. I didn't know anything like that. I was just like, dude, whatever number he tells me, like I'm gonna fucking pay it, and I'm gonna fucking like do this shit.
I just remember you were so excited, and you're like, dude, I'm fucking ready. I was like, dude, this kid, like, you know what's actually funny too is like, you were like, dude, I'm ready to get this fucking, like, watch, we're gonna get an interview together. We're gonna fucking, and we're doing it right now, basically, which is hilarious.
Dude, it's crazy, bro. In a short amount of time too.
Yeah, I remember that call in October, and I was like, shit, all right, we'll see, like, how quickly this kid can do it. But because you had the fucking, like, focus. I think what, like, especially, like, just listening to your story, dude, like, I think you're correct about, like, the risk taking. Like, that's what I see, just even listening to you. Dude, you're willing to take a fucking risk and bet on yourself. And I don't think that many people are, like, especially barbers, dude, like you kind of said, most barbers want to stay comfortable, like that guy at the shop where it's like stay here for 5 years and make $500 a day. They'll be like, oh, that's like the easiest thing to do. I'm just gonna chill out. Yet, like it's like, what are you really trading for comfort? You're really trading like time, which is not the best. Like in my opinion, especially like
he was also cutting like 25, 30 heads, just butchering shit. So I was like, dude, like, and they would always tell me to like speed up and shit.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do that, bro. Like I like actually cared about my haircuts. Like I wanted to fucking flex them. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to like be the best I could already. And so I was like, fuck that.
You have some core quality elements of like a good businessman, right? And just somebody who's going to be good in business. Like somebody who's really poor in business makes decisions slow, doesn't take risks, and doesn't have like high self-confidence and can't hyper-focus, right? You kind of have a lot of things. Yeah. You can fucking hyper-focus like a motherfucker, right? We've seen that before. You've done that in longboarding, obviously. I'm pretty sure you've done that in other avenues too. Maybe not school, because I know I would definitely didn't give a shit about school. But
dude, honestly, I didn't give a shit about school. That's just like not what I wanted to do. Like I have so much energy, bro, and I've always like been a person to like be outside and like moving around and fucking dude getting shit done. And I just like couldn't see myself sitting in an office. Yeah. Like working. I was going for finance, and I was like, dude, I can't fucking do this. So that's why actually I took the sacrifice for barbering. That reminded me.
Yeah, and like. So the risk part, right? Most barbers want to like, and most people in general, not just barbers, but like, I mean, this is what plagues the barber industry. Most barbers also don't want to take the risk, right? They're like, oh man, what if it doesn't work out? Blah blah blah. It's really like a lack of self-confidence in self, which you have a lot of confidence in yourself. Like, look, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna fucking get it done, right? Because I'm gonna go
100%
balls to the wall. I'm gonna bet on myself. I'm doing this thing. If it doesn't work out, like I'll make it work out somehow, right? What was the other thing? So I said, hyper focused. Risk. Oh, you make decisions fucking quick, dude. Like, what was it? You fucking like, right after what was it? School ended, or you dropped out of school. You like got another lease. You didn't even think about it. You're like, fuck it, get another lease. Let's go, right?
Yeah, because so once the barber told me $1,000 a week, that's $4,000 a fucking month, bro. And I'm like, dude, I can get another apartment and only out there for $600 a month.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, dude, I'm gonna fucking go there.
But like think about this. A lot of people when they get with that thing, they're gonna think about the decision. Oh, I need to sleep on it. Oh man, let me think about.
Like, I just ripped that shit.
But but here's the thing though. Like, I know for damn sure, Joe, you made some fuck ups in life. Doing that.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
But like that's the beauty of it, right? Like when you're a fast decision maker, you learn however much faster, 2x, 3x, 10x a time frame that it takes somebody else just to make the original decision, right? So let's say you go through 10 decisions, you make them like all super fast. You skip 10 years, where it makes some people like it takes them like to make one decision, fucking 10 years in itself, and then you've like almost 10x their output. I think for you, that's how you've like kind of hacked. And I think that's a great sign of all businessmen. They hack time, they hack that thing of like, look, even if it doesn't work out, so what? You're gonna fucking live. You're not gonna get your hand chopped off. You're not gonna die. You're gonna be able to make. You're gonna figure this shit out regardless, right? And I don't think enough people have like that idea of just, look, I'm gonna figure it out. Even if it fails, I'll figure out a way to make sure like I get back on top. And I think that's why you are so successful even right now, because you just keep on pushing the envelope. Like we were talking about last month, you had what, 34 new clients last month?
Yep.
Yeah.
34 new clients.
Yeah. Whereas like when you first started the program, I mean, how many new clients were you even getting? Because I know we basically started over your clientele and back in, I'm gonna fucking murder you, Poughkeepsie. Poughkeepsie. Jesus fuck yeah. All right. So like we basically started back over like what, 5 to 10 clients in total.
Yeah. So when I joined the program in October, I started getting to like the barber videos, like posting on IG, like mid-November. It took me like, I don't know, 3 weeks to like get it down.
Yeah.
And then, I just like stacked a bunch of barber videos. And then when I moved to Poughkeepsie, I just fucking started ripping those videos. And then I started bringing in like, I don't know. I could check my sheet right now, but I think I only had like 2 or 3 new clients in January, and
Sure.
then it got like I had like 6 in February, and then I had like 10 in March. Like I just knew it was gonna like keep going, so I just like kept pushing that shit.
Yeah.
And last month was fantastic.
Yeah,
me.
last month we like got the new clients we need to, got the business where we need to be able to price raise. We were at 45 before, now we're at 65 basically. We're going to 65 on what, Saturday?
Yep,
Nice.
Saturday.
All right,
And I'm booked out for Saturday.
Attaboy. Good fucking
Hell
shit,
yeah.
Joey. Like, like, dude, like, I guess 2 years ago, when you first started cutting hair, I mean, first of all, did you have any idea when you first got into the industry, like, that would be possible to charge $65 a cut? Or were you just on your hustler shit, but damn near?
Nah, I was just on my hustler shit, bro. I had no idea. But what really intrigued me was just like, I guess, I don't know, like, so my boy who quit, like, not, he didn't quit cutting hair, but he stopped cutting our frat's hair at the time during COVID. He was just like, yo, like, we're going to make videos, like, we're going to blow up, and, like, fucking, I was like, dude, like, I just saw that as an avenue to, like, actually, like, make something of myself. So, that's what I did.
Another fucking quick decision, another risk taken. Because that is a risk.
Hell yeah,
like,
bro. No,
like,
100%.
Because, like,
I got sacrifice tatted right here on my arm.
as long as you don't have a barber tattoo, we good.
Nah, I don't.
Yeah, and so I would pay for that to be removed. But, like, I'd always talk mad shit about that, especially when Greg comes out here and I'm like, bro, fuck that barber tattoo. What do you feel like has been like the main, I guess, difference between Joey when you first joined the program in October to like even now?
Dude, so many things. I can't even say that there's one thing.
Okay, well, like, let's unravel it, because I feel like there's a lot of value for everybody, because like your development, just not even in breaking down like your decision making, your risk to reward habits, even just like overall betting on yourself, self confidence. I think it's game changer for a lot of barbers to kind of listen into and kind of see. I mean, just if you want to like just start with whatever one, we'll kind of like take it one by one.
Yeah. I think that because I grew up really poor, bro. So when I first joined the program, I used to hate rich people. You know what I'm saying? I used to be like, damn, like they're just fucking privileged, lucky. And like a lot of people still think like that. So my worldview and paradigm on business itself, even though I was running a business before, and I was trying to make as much money as I could, I honestly don't even know. I just my perspective on business has changed so much, because it's just like you have to realize, like, Jeff Bezos, like anyone great, like Elon Musk, like anyone like that, like they put in the fucking time and the work to like be in the position that they are now. And like one thing that I learned from you, like a big thing that I learned, is just like the inputs that you put in are going to get you the outputs that you want. Like, or if you put in some shitty ass inputs, like you're going to get a shitty ass output.
Yeah.
So you might as well put in all, like give it your all, like put in as much work as you can, because that's going to benefit you in the future.
And you also have to look at the world correctly. Like, I think you're spot on, dude. Like, I think a lot of barbers fucking think that, like, even their clients think that, like, Bezos, Musk, all these people who are billionaires or people who have money are fucking, like you said, like evil, lazy, privileged. But it's like they give it's almost a weird cloaking device mentally, right? Because then like mentally you kind of go, oh, they're just lucky, they're different than me, right? And there is no difference. They just put in the work, right? And they did things.
100%.
They put in the work over an extended period of time. There is nothing else like to it. Yeah, they did different work. Yeah, they had different inputs. Yeah, they had a bigger learning curve. Like Elon Musk was like reading like encyclopedias for fun and like all this shit when he's like 2 years old or 3 years old. I don't remember what the story is, but it was something fucking crazy, right? Where he's just reading a shit ton of books. And, you know, that kind of accumulates to what their outputs are right now. And I think for you, that light bulb kind of shifted where it's like, okay, cool. Like, first of all, like, it's kind of stupid to like hate rich people but be running a business. Like, well, what the fuck are you gonna be doing, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
But like,
so dude, like
I think your mentality changed right when you realize, okay, cool. You know, I have to be able to push the business, and I have to realize like these are people I should respect and also learn from. That's when I think everything kind of shifted. And you really took things to another gear, because you weren't like playing like the victim mentality anymore, with a lot of people do, right?
Yeah, I was absolutely playing the victim before I joined the program.
How was that showing up? Like, what were you doing it like as the victim role? Because I know what I used to do all the time, right? I used to be like, oh, fuck all these people. Like, oh man, they need to share all their money with people. They shouldn't be greedy. Like, what were you doing?
Dude, it was just like my old boss at the barbershop, bro. Like, he would just say that everyone who was like actually great and did something with their lives, that they're like pieces of shit and they should give out all their money to this person, or like they should give out all their money to this community. And it's like, dude, no, they earn their money by putting in the work. And like the reason why other people don't have money and stuff is because they don't take sacrifice, they don't take risk, they don't invest, and they don't believe in themselves, and they don't put in the work.
And most importantly, they don't develop themselves, right? Like the side of developing self, of like discipline, even, right? Learning, fucking 100%. Going through trials and tribulations, and like figuring out like how to improve something, iterating, fucking like optimizing something. That's a fucking mental, like building mental models and learning things that like will like save you like for generations to come, or like you can pass on to your kids, right? That's what I think is like most important. I think that's like, once you start learning that's the game, you're like, okay, cool. How can I learn the most amount of, like learn the fastest, and like be able to implement the quickest, so I can like get myself ahead, right? And I think for you, like it wasn't just like, oh, you're supposed to give me, I'm supposed to earn that. Because I think when you are the victim, you're like, oh, I earned this too. I'm living, breathing. These are my rights. It's like, no, dude. Like this is how everything's set up. It's not how business works, right?
Yeah, facts. So another big thing that's changed for me is definitely discipline. I'm so much more disciplined now than I ever was. I feel like I just went through the military, but didn't have to do any of that extra bullshit, bro. I'm just like,
what was your discipline like prior? Like, let's go through that.
I just like wouldn't make my bed in the morning.
Okay, simple shit.
Yeah, just like simple shit, bro. Like not doing the dishes, like not really cleaning. I mean, I'm definitely still working on myself for sure. But yeah, just like, I don't know, dude. When I used to like smoke a lot of weed and shit, I just thought everything was cool. Like you don't have to like really do that much. You know what I'm saying? You could just chill and fucking.
Yeah, because you're high as fuck, right? You're high. You're like, hey, everything's good, man. I'm chilling, right?
Yeah, like all your problems, like they go away when you smoke, and then 2 hours later they come back. So I would just like smoke more. Yeah. So I don't smoke weed anymore. I smoked weed since I was 12 years old. My mom's probably gonna see this and be like, "Fuck."
Yeah, my mom's seen a lot of stuff too, so like, fuck it.
Yeah, but yeah, I've been smoking weed since I was 12 years old. Dude, and you look at a 12-year-old, bro, and they're so little. Like, I'm like, damn. I'm like, fuck, I was really that kid. And I like persuaded all my boys to like start smoking weed and shit too. Like I was definitely like the bad influence.
Sure.
And but so I've been smoking for 10 years, bro. And I just stopped at the beginning of last month, and I was definitely like really irritated and stuff at first too, for like the first couple of weeks. I was definitely going through like withdrawals. I know people don't say that you get like withdrawals from weed, but it was definitely like, I realized that like a lot of habits that people have, like even smoking or anything like that, it's like your body's controlling your mind, right?
Yeah.
And it's like everyone's like on this puppet thing, and that, like your body is just like having you hang on these strings, and like it just tells you to do whatever you usually do. And once I challenged myself, that's when I really started seeing a lot of results too. Like just with discipline, just like I'm not gonna fall like subject to like cravings or like desires or stuff like that, or like what is it called? The shiny object syndrome.
Shiny object, yeah.
Because I used to have that too, bro. Like when I first started touching some money, bro, I would just buy stupid shit like chains and fucking. Like I had a nice car, like for no reason, and dude, I was like, I had a nice fast car and I was homeless. Like it's just my priorities weren't straight.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What were you driving?
I had a 2015 Acura TLX. Sure. And like it wasn't like the best car, but like, dude, for me, like
for somebody who was homeless, basically, like it's like
fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that shit had like 2 screens, bro, sunroof. Like, dude, that shit was sick to me.
Gotcha.
But like I'm not really into like a car guy. I'm not really like a car guy either. But I just like comfort and like I like luxury. But like now, like you can never. So one thing I want to, another thing I want to tell a lot of barbers is that you should like never be comfortable or complacent. And so I took like pretty much everything that I thought I needed in life away from me to see what I really wanted. And it's just like you told me, like imagine if Drake stopped making music after like the Take Care album or Best I Ever Had, like all that unmatched potential. And like I tell this to my clients all the time because they're like, oh, why are you raising your price? I'm like, dude, imagine if LeBron James like never was done after the first championship. Imagine if he was satisfied. Like imagine if Kobe was satisfied after the first championship, or like, you know what I'm saying? So like, and they're like, oh, you're comparing yourself to LeBron James. I'm like, dude, like
of course I would be. What the fuck?
Yeah, like I'm trying to be the best I can, and like, bro, like the people who are the greatest and people who do the best, like, all have that same mentality. I've been watching a lot of interviews on just like, like I guess Mamba mentality, and just like always want to be the best, bro, and never stay complacent. So I'm living below my means right now. Just like I cut out drinking, I sold my car, I cut out weed. I stopped going out with my friends. Like, I just stopped chilling overall. Like, I'm just like strictly focused on my business right now.
Yeah.
And like I feel like a lot of people too like envy focus because like they can't focus like other people.
It's
like
it's I feel like it's almost jealousy. I think envy is probably like a better term too, because like people get kind of weird when you start like putting a lot more focus on like yourself and like bettering yourself and like cleaning stuff up, because it also makes them feel, it kind of puts a shining light on them, like oh, does he think that he's better than me or something like that, or like who does he think he is? It's
Yeah.
like, well, yeah, I think I fucking do.
I faced the I
like,
faced
to be
that,
honest,
too. Like a lot of people are like, oh, do you think that you're better than me? And it's
to
like,
be honest, yes.
I'm not gonna tell them straight up.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, because like you're not doing anything that is gonna help you in the long term,
Yeah.
and I'm putting in all this work. You know what I'm saying? So
and I think, like, especially in the barber industry, man, like you get, I mean, I know for you, like everybody has like that clique they hang around too often, especially whether it be the barbers in the shop, whether it be the clients that you go out with too often, and like you can get really sucked up into like a facade lifestyle, right? Where you're spending too much money, or you're comfortable, or you're just chilling, or you're just really cutting hair just to like support that, whatever you guys are doing, instead of like, what am I trying to do like long term wise, right? Like
yeah,
I'm sure
100%.
like dude, I'm sure when you were smoking weed, like and to be, because I've gotten people also like that, because I posted your post on my story about the weed thing, and people are like, oh man, like they always want to like bash it, like, oh, how dare you talk bad about weed. Oh, I'm like, look, I don't give a fuck, right? But at the end of the day, if you take two people, somebody who's high off their ass and somebody who's completely sober, who's gonna fucking win in business? I'm taking the sober guy all day. I'm sorry, right? And that's just from decision making, and that's gonna be in terms of urgency, and that's gonna be in terms of just being able to like get things done in like a timely fashion, right? It's not. It has nothing to do with like, oh, it's like the devil's like weed or anything like of devil's grass, whatever the fuck they call it, right?
Yeah.
Like, dude,
Like, do it if you want, bro. But like, I'm just like trying to honestly inspire people to step out of their comfort zone and like stop doing the thing that you're doing daily if you really want to better yourself. Because like, what are you actually doing to better yourself if you're not? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Sorry, I'm sorry.
I don't keep on going. No, I always think about it like, man, like, okay, let's say you are doing pretty good right now and you're smoking a shit ton of weed, bro. Like, how much better do you think you could be if you like stopped? Just stop for like 3 months and just like much more clear headed. Because like, dude, I used to smoke weed all the fucking time, right? I used to get high as fuck. Like I would be high off my ass for days, just like, would it be edibles, whatever, like bong rips, fucking dabs. And like once I got clean of that shit, I was like, oh my, I could like think finally. Like it wasn't even just like, I feel like I had like a much more, I felt like I had the dog back in me again, right? And I think again, like if you take two people, like I'm gonna bet on the guy who's not smoking weed, who's just like focused on the business, because again, too, like weed kind of makes you comfortable, dude. It is a comfort, like it makes you very comfortable, pain-free.
It's the same thing as drinking, bro. It's like, I mean, it's not the same thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's the same thing as drinking,
but it's like a comfortable thing to do, though. It's like something that's comforting to a person.
It's very calming. It's very calming of the nerves, right? And like for something in business, like, and I get some people like be like, oh, but you know, like they get more creative. It's like, well, you can get creative outside without smoking weed. Like now you're kind of using that as like a dependency instead of like your natural talents. And I just rather be like, I think even for me, like I kind of got out of like, I know I have certain routines, but I don't have like superstitions, right? And like, because I don't want to have it as a crutch. Like, let's say, basically now that person cannot be creative or do their best work without weed. It's basically the lie they're telling themselves, right? And I'm like, I would never want that, because like, let's say if I need to be on my game every fucking day, and like, let's say like I was the person who needed weed, and I don't have weed for an extended period of time. Now what? Now I'm fucked, right? Now I can't perform at the highest level.
That's how I felt. That's how I felt.
Like
I'd be like, fuck, I don't have weed. Like anywhere I would go. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, dude, like we have to bring the weed.
And that's not a position as a business owner. Like strategy wise, I don't want to have to depend on that, right? Like at all.
100%.
Yeah, like I want to just be like God-given natural talent. I'm here, I'm locked in, and like 100%. I don't need anything. I can wake up and fucking get to it, right? I don't need to like take time. I don't need to get on a certain level, yada yada. And I think again too, like I think it's a lot. I mean, like again, to do what you want to do, like outside of it. But I think like if you want to scale a business and really take things up to the max level, if you're doing pretty good right now, just fucking think about like how good you could be without it, right?
Yeah, 100%. That's because when I joined the program and you were talking about weed and shit, I was like, dude, I am not stop smoking weed. Like I'm not gonna stop. Like whatever he says, like I'm not even gonna tell him that I'm smoking weed. I was like, dude, I'm just not gonna stop, and I'm gonna do this shit and smoke weed, because I I was like, I love weed. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
dude, I feel so weird saying that.
Yeah. Well, like,
Especially
I mean,
now.
even if you did, I mean, I wouldn't like. I'm not gonna force somebody to stop smoking, right? Like, I'm not gonna be like, hey, you gotta fucking stop. But it's just like, hey, like, think about it, man. Like, if you're doing pretty good right now, how good could you be later on
Yeah.
if you stopped? Or just,
Yeah, I'm
like,
not trying to like tell someone an absolute like stop smoking weed. I'm just making a suggestion, and I'm trying to
Absolutely.
like just like think about it, bro. You know, just like you said, just like think
100%.
about it, because it's the same thing. It's just like, yeah, like how much more potential do you have when you're not high? Like, you know what I'm saying? When you can
Yeah.
think like
Yeah.
I would come home after work, or I would be done with work and be like, oh, I can't wait to get home and smoke weed. And now like I get home and like I'm doing more work to build a business outside
Yeah.
of actual work too.
Yeah, and it's like that 10 years down the road thing. If you could, like, let's say 10 years from now, look back at, like, what you could have been potential-wise if you're smoking weed all that time and versus, like, you versus sober, and, like, would you be happy with the results? Like, if you realize your potential, if you got less potential from smoking weed for 10 plus years, and if you just stopped smoking, like, you would have more potential, would you be pissed off, right? Could you live with that? And, like, to me, I'm like, nope, couldn't live with that. Got to stop it, right? And that's always how you should make decisions. Can I live with the worst possible end result? I think for you too, I definitely want to touch on too was like, why were you fucking spending so much money, man? You were spending money, like you said, on shoes and shit, and like a car. Like, did you ever get like, did you have like poor financial discipline like as a kid growing up? Nobody really taught you about money. I mean, I know you said you came from like a very very poor background, but like, what was kind of going through your head even while you were homeless? You were still spending a shit ton of money. What was like mentally going on for you?
So I was running another business. I'm not gonna
Sure.
say this on the internet, but I was chilling, bro, and I'd never had this much money in my life before. And yeah, I was going on vacations, bro. Like I went to LA for Thanksgiving break with my girl for a week, and I went to Miami 3 weeks later. Spent like 6 bands in LA. I spent like $1,000 on weed in LA. I went to Miami 3 weeks later. Spent like 3 or 4 bands, and then I bought a car I put $10,000 down in January, bro. So
Yeah.
I spent like $20,000 in like 2 months.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I was buying all the shoes and shit because I never had any of that. Like I never had the opportunity to like go out and like just do shit on my own. Like I was never able to like I never really went on vacation as a kid. I never had any Jordans. I never had like Yeezys or like dude like all that fucking stupid shit. Like I never had a chain. You know what I'm saying? And I like always saw all these kids like, oh, I got this, like I'm better than you. So I thought that I had to like use that as validation to like prove to other people that like I'm valid too. You know what I'm saying? Like
Sure.
But that was like the dumbest shit that I could have done to myself. Like if I'd never spent any of that, I would probably be in a way better position than I am right now. But it's all lessons and stuff too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't regret anything.
It's again too. It's like risk taking, but you learn the lesson of like, okay, now I know what not to do, right? And like you
Yeah,
get further
for sure.
ahead. I mean, it's a hard lesson to learn. How much money do you think you were like wasting per month back then, just on stupid shit? You had to put a number.
Like 7,000-8,000.
A month just on stupid shit.
Bro, I was eating out every single day. I was eating out every single meal. I never cooked once my senior year of college.
Oh my god.
I was smoking a shit ton of weed. Like my car insurance was crazy. It was like $350. My car took premium. I was spending like $1,000 a month on just my car.
Yeah.
Just like yeah, I was buying all the shoes, going on vacations. Like, what else did I spend money on? I was just, dude, literally just throwing money everywhere, bro. I felt like the fucking man, bro.
I don't think
I definitely learned a lot from it.
I don't think that I mean like it fucking sucks, but I don't think you're too far off from like what the typical barber does. Honestly, like when I used to talk to barbers and like still when I like review calls of like what Dane has been talking to or anybody else has been like talking to barber wise, there's a lot of people in the barber industry who are just like very piss poor with their money. Like they'll make those same decisions because like it's again too like when you're cutting hair, man, money comes in. You see cash every fucking day, dude. Right? Yeah. And it's kind of like you get kind of like blinded, like this will always be here, but like that'll always be here. That will always be there, but like you're also will always be stuck behind the chair, right?
Yeah, my financial discipline was like, it was like that mentality, like, oh yeah, I can spend all this today because I'm gonna make it back tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why most barbers are like 15, 30, 45 years in the game and still like charging $25-$30 or whatever they're charging and still fucking cutting hair, dude. Like, which is like, to me is like
crazy.
It should be a 5 years now. Honestly, 5 years from like the moment that you went pro, or like, you know, got your license, whatever, and then you got to get the fuck out after that, right? Stack your money, take it to its max level, get the fuck out.
Hell yeah.
Well, what else? I mean, I know you talked about what was it? Poor money management. What was it like? You were smoking a fuck ton of weed. What else was like in the discipline factor that was piss poor before?
I guess, bro. Honestly, even like hygiene. Like I definitely didn't have like the best, bro. I was just like I just feel like I used to be such a scumbag.
You were just a stoner, dude. You're just high all the time, just like fucking chilling.
Literally high 24/7. I always played. I haven't played video games in a minute.
Uh-huh.
I used to play video games 24/7. Dude, like I didn't have to like really worry about anything in the time, and like I just always knew money was coming the next day, so I never worried about anything. So I would just like I literally blew it all. Like
how do you feel? What went into the decision of like stop playing video games for yourself? Because I feel like there's a lot of grown men that still play like video games as like a hobby that aren't a pro video game player, right? They just kind of do it just to like, and they spend like 8 hours out of their day doing it.
Waste time, bro.
Yeah.
It's just a time management thing for me. Was another thing about discipline, time management. Yeah, I just stopped doing a lot of bullshit, bro, and I opened up a lot more space for myself to focus on the business. Yeah, video games is one of them. I didn't see any value in it anymore. Like after I changed like my perspective on business and like my worldview on how shit worked.
Sure.
And like I just knew that like Elon Musk was working like 23-hour days pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Like definitely not 23 hours. But like dude, I'm trying to work I'm gonna work that fucking much too if like that's gonna put me in a better position.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And yeah. Actually had one of my friends, another thing that changed for me too, one of my friends passed away in a motorcycle accident. And like I think right before the program actually, or maybe it was right after.
I think it was right because I remember you talking about this. I was like, hey, dude, like take your time, like you know, like if you need to take some time out, like just go through your process, like don't try to rush this thing. Like I think it was like right after you joined.
Yeah, I think it was right after, and dude, he was like one of my best friends, and it changed a lot for me, bro. I just like I feel like if I died tomorrow, like I don't know, like this is like pretty weird to say, but I feel like if I died tomorrow, I'll be satisfied because I went hard every single day that I knew I could. So like since he died, like since I joined the program, like I've been putting my all into this and like into my future and my family's future, and I would be satisfied knowing that like I went as hard as I could versus like if I was still slacking in some aspect or in any aspect, like I would be mad at myself. Like I would be like I would have regret. You know what I'm saying? Like why didn't I do more? So like I always want to put in 110%, and it's like I guess it's a weird perspective, but I just always want to go hard, bro. I never want to let up.
I think it's just one that like when you have somebody that you know that is somebody that's close to you that like passes away, right, or unfortunately like gets taken too soon, like it brings a sense of reality into it. Like oh fuck, right, this shit's like not gonna last forever. Like it's legit like gonna end, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Because I think a lot of people they get caught up like, oh man, this is gonna be free. Like I'm just living in the moment on everything like that. But they forget to plan ahead, and then that kind of gives you perspective. Like how many years do I have fucking left, right? Do I have like 40, 30, 50, 20, 2, right?
10. Yeah, exactly. Bro. Yeah.
And then you start thinking, fuck, would I like let's say you were 22 at that. What have I been doing for the last 22 years? Would I be satisfied, right? And then it's like no.
For me, I was like, fuck no. Like I need to put this shit in overdrive. Like I didn't take any days off. I might have taken like one day off, but I put that shit in overdrive like the second that shit happened.
Yeah.
Like the second I felt that reality check, and I was like a lot of people are always like when I try to explain them my mentality, like they'll never get it. And I know you were I forgot where you were saying this, but like it's hard to like socialize with people now that are like that don't have the same mentality because you're just like dude, what are you thinking? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's like someone that's like not in the EM program. Like just like a regular civilian that wants to just like fuck around, like go to the hookah bar, like fucking, like dude, I don't want to do any of that shit. Like I honestly already had a bunch of fun in college. Like I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Right now is like time to put in work, and like I'm not stopping until I get what I want.
100%. And I think that's natural. Like when you start like because you just outgrew like the norm, right? Like you're becoming abnormal in terms of, especially as a barber, right? Like. You're going to get, like, I'm more than confident you're going to get to 15, 20K per month. Like, we're going to fly out to LA, you know, have a little celebration and shit.
Super.
But, like,
hell yeah.
You're becoming abnormal, and, like, you're starting to separate yourself from, like, average people and average things. You can kind of see, like, I mean, to be honest, that used to be you, right? Because I always think about that, like, oh man, like these people are all weird. I don't want to fucking like, yeah. But like, I always have to like bring myself back down. Like, all right, that was me at one point in time, right? And for some
100%.
reason, like, I just had some sort of life events happen to me that like, shook me to my core and made me like wake the fuck up. Like, okay, cool, this isn't how I'm supposed to play this game. Let me move differently, right? Because like I think a lot of times too, you can become very an angry person a lot of times when I don't know. I mean, I'm typically like a very like hyped up and like emotional extreme person, but I remember I just became very angry at one point in time because I was like so frustrated with everybody around me being like I outgrew everybody and I couldn't handle that. And I think you always like just for you like always remember like okay, that used to be you. And everybody has their own journey on like that path to like their own growth.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
It honestly is frustrating because I don't really get to see my friends that much anymore, just because I'm so focused and stuff. And like every time I see them, they're like, "Oh, why don't you come chill?" Or like, "Why don't you're supposed to have balance, bro? Like, what are you doing? Like, you have all your life to work." And I'm like, "Dude, like, you guys are bugging. Like, I'm getting this shit done now."
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
you have your whole life to work, but you have a very small pocket of time to build, right? And I think that's
for sure.
That's what,
you're young, bro.
That's what separates people like a lot. I mean, like you can always build later on, but like, you're not gonna have as much time to build on top of that, right? It's like how much further do you want to build? Like, let's say you're taking this barbering thing, right? You want to build this out, and then you're gonna have your next thing of what do you want to build out, and then the next thing after that, right? And these are gonna take like 5, 10, 15 plus years, right? If somebody starts at like 75, yeah, you could build something, right? But you might only get one level, right? How far do you want to fucking go is like the real question. If you want to go far, you better lock the fuck in and like build, not just like try to work.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro. I've always been a worker. Like I've always been a hustler. I've always bro, ever since I was 14, like when I was living at my boys' house and their parents were like, "All right, you're 14, you got to work." And I'm like, "Oh man, like I'm not trying to work." You know what I'm saying? I was like, "Fuck." But that like I guess just right then and there, it instilled me that like no one else is gonna build this shit for me. No one else is gonna build the life that I want to live. And I started at zero. You know what I'm saying? Like when my house burned down when I was young, I had nothing. Like we had no house insurance, nothing. Like we lost everything, and we all got split up. So I didn't even have my brothers to like really rely on or anything like that. So I always just like knew that I had to build something for myself and for my family if they're not gonna do it. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So like I always felt compelled to put my all in. And I was doing really good in college, and then I just realized that wasn't going to be the life for me. And I think that's why I got into barbering, because you can like control it more. Like you can control the business, and it was fun at first. I mean, it's still fun. It's definitely more fun now, honestly, than ever.
Yeah.
Especially with this price raise coming, I'm hyped.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be fun, especially like because of what we're at 65. I think we definitely can get you to 85. We might, dude. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we can get you to 100 by November at latest, right?
That'd be sick.
We have a fucking shot to do it, and it's just gonna be up to your execution level, and like I don't doubt that at all, right? Like you've already shown like what the fuck you can do. I guess for you too, like I know we already talked about like what the disciplines were or the lack of disciplines were prior. What about the disciplines you have now? Like what did you develop? What did you change up? What have you seen that works really well for you in that area?
I would say just like focus, if that's a discipline. You would agree, right? Like focus is like.
I think focus is a discipline because like I mean you could do a task and then your phone goes off and like go do the phone then come back and you're unfocused, right?
So yeah, for me, I used to be on I'm still on my phone a lot, obviously, because I'm always studying something or I'm trying to get my education in any way I can. But I would always just be like randomly scrolling. Like I unfollowed, like you recommended, I unfollowed everyone. I like deleted Twitter. I deleted Snapchat.
Yeah.
I like deleted my old Instagram account. Like there's nothing that I can like see that will distract me. So like I'm just like so locked in. I don't have text notifications on. I only get phone calls and booked appointments. So I'm just like, dude, people are always trying to like get me to do something, or I mean they kind of know now like not to ask me to do anything anymore because like I'm just not going to do it. But I would say focus. I just like know how to focus more, and focus on actually what I want, and like focus on like my long-term goals instead of like short-term goals.
Sure.
Because yeah, I kind of got there. But yeah.
You good?
Yeah, my bad.
No, you're all good. I mean, I guess like the one last thing I definitely want to go over with you is like what's like one piece of advice that you would give to like barbers in general, maybe listening in or just one even like I know you probably have a shit ton you want to say, even just like what would you like to share with people like to bring them some type of value?
I would just say believe in yourself because no one else is going to do that shit for you. Invest in yourself, invest in your education, invest in your career, invest in your business, and bro, just go for it. Like not even just a program. Like I would definitely do this program because it was definitely the best investment that I've ever made, personally. But you should know that I started from absolutely nothing, and I'm gonna build one of the biggest businesses ever. So
Facts.
you can do whatever you want. You like as long as you set your mind to it. I was just watching this TikTok of Jack Harlow on the stage, and he was just telling everybody like he used to be the same person that is sitting on the other side of the screen too. You know what I'm saying? Like looking at the interviews, like looking at people perform and stuff like that. And it's just like you can perform too. Like you just have to like lock in and set your mind to it. Like you can literally do whatever you set your mind to. And I think that's the biggest thing that people should know because a lot of people doubt themselves. And you just got to like be overconfident. Even if you're not, like you just have to like be the dog. You know what I'm saying? Like
100%.
I definitely was like more introverted back in the day too. Like I was always quiet. Like I had like my group of friends and shit too. But now I'm like out there. I mean, I'm still kind of quiet, but I'm definitely like more out there and just like put yourself out there and just don't be afraid to take risks because like you're either going to learn something from it or you're going to get something out of it. You're going to get something out of it either way, but you're either going to learn something for it or get the risk. So definitely take risk. Definitely do your research on whatever you're going to invest in, and yeah, definitely invest in yourself. That's number one. Invest in yourself.
Yeah, probably number two is probably always have some DILF energy in you, right?
Hell yeah, bro.
for those like we have a running joke in the program. Was it you or was it Johan that brought up? We were talking about like
It was
DILF
Johan
energy.
with his fucking shirt.
We have a
DILF
DILF shirts. He was vice president of the DILF Academy in the program. So Joey,
yeah, that shit was funny, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate you, my guy, coming on the interview. Again, too, like super excited as well. Super proud of like the work you've done, and let's get you to a fucking $100. All right.
Hell yeah, bro.
Awesome,
By the end of the year.
Yep.